Hi, Clint Coons here with Anderson Business Advisors, and in this session we're going to discuss how do you use a nominee trustee. Okay, if you've looked at the video on using or choosing your trustee, I discussed the benefits of using a nominee trustee, that is someone other than you, to provide anonymity. And a lot of people take advantage of that, meaning the fact that they use someone other than themselves as their trustee. And if they don't use a professional or someone who truly understands land trusts, they find out later on when they want to do something with the property, they have problems. I mean, think of it this way. You have property right now that's in your name. So let's say the property's in the name of Karen. And then Karen wants to set up a trust and transfer title of that property to that trust with a nominee trustee. So Karen deeds the property into Clint Coons, trustee of 732 Trust. Now, if you watch the How to Name Your Trust video, you'll understand the proper way to take title and how to name your trust. But for brevity purposes, I'm going with this. So Karen transfers her property into my name as trustee. Now, if we've done it right, I'm going to resign. So whenever you use a nominee trustee, you want them to resign their position after the deed is signed. Not recorded. You don't need to do that. As soon as it's signed. So once the client deeds the property in the name of the trust, it means once they sign the deed, I resign my position immediately at that point in time, and I give them my resignation letter. Now, when I resign, the trust document will state that Karen is the successor trustee. So in the trust document itself, it states that Clint Coons is the initial trustee, Karen is the successor trustee. Okay? Straightforward. But on title, it's always going to read Clint Coons. That's how we get the anonymity. So here is where the problems typically arise for people who don't understand this and how it should work. They get the resignation down just fine. That is, they resign their position, Karen takes over, she's the trustee of her trust, everything's working just fine, she has anonymity, and then all of a sudden she wants to do this. She wants to sell her property. Or two, she wants to refi her property. And she walks into the bank and she tries to refi the property. And the bank looks at the trust and they say, who's this Clint Coons guy? Or she tries to sell the property and escrow gets a copy, they pull a copy of the deed and they say, well, we can't give you the money. We have to send the money to Clint Coons because he's the one that's listed as trustee. But Karen pulls out the resignation of Clint and says, but he resigned. We don't know that. How do I know you just didn't make that up, is what they would say to her. And so all of a sudden now that your money, from selling your property, it's going to someone else. Or you're told you can't refi your property and take advantage of those low interest rates. And so now you're in a quandary. What do you do? Well, you set it up right to begin with. You don't have these problems. What you do is that when the trustee resigns, you want to get from that trustee a trustee's deed. This is very important that you receive a trustee's deed. A trustee's deed is basically a deed that's prepared by your trustee, your nominee trustee, appointing you as the new trustee of this trust, as a successor trustee who is now going to step into my shoes and be the trustee. So I'm deeding any rights interest I have over to you as the trustee, therefore you can record that. Now you don't record it right away, because if you recorded it right away, then you're going to blow the anonymity, because when you record that deed, what occurs on title, my name's wiped and Karen's name is listed as the trustee. So now she can go in and handle the refi, or she can sell the property and all the proceeds will run to her because I'm no longer listed on the current deed as the trustee of this trust. So that trustee's deed is very important. If you don't have it, then you're going to run into some problems trying to clear title to get your name onto it as the trustee. It may mean you have to go to court to do it. So depending on your county, they have different procedures for changing the trustee out. So this is a key component whenever you're using a nominee trustee. And something else to consider here. Whenever you use a nominee trustee, before you go in and do anything with the property from a financial standpoint, make sure that you've recorded this trustee deed, or at least contacted, if you're using Anderson, you've contacted us to let us know what you're intending to do so we can make sure that title reads the right way for you so it doesn't create issues. And more importantly, this is more along the issues of refining the property. Many times what's going to happen is you cannot refi the property in the name of the trust. So we will then direct you to transfer, deed the property out into your name. So Karen would just put it right back into her name prior to applying for the refinance on the property. So they don't even see the trust. They see Karen listed as the individual owner when they go in for the refi. After that's done, then we can just reverse the transaction, put it back into the trust, throw the nominee back on, you get the anonymity again, and we're back to where we were originally. Hope that cleared up some issues for you. My name is Clint Coons with Anderson Business Advisors.